Last time on Let's Build a House, Smitty, Matt, and the boys worked hard to complete the framing of the roof. They set the 3 main ridges, installed the rafters, and sheathed the roof. It's been incredible watching the house we designed come to life. This episode, we put all of our efforts towards waterproofing. Let's wrap a house.
Alright, so we finished off the framing and the sheathing of the house. We haven't built the A or finished up this dormer right here, but we're starting to waterproof now because we got 3 or 4 days of rain coming in. So we're going to work through the weekend, get this roof as waterproofed as possible while we're finishing up building this dormer, and then more waterproofing. But we want to beat this rain.
I felt so much more comfortable building these 2 dormers. I still need a carpenter with me to ensure we are setting the frame at the correct pitch, but once we have our numbers, I'm able to give a good hand. Last episode I explained that these dormers are built like miniature houses. With this dormer, we started with building the walls, then sheathing those walls. Next, Smitty and I built the overhanging rakes. This rake will match the overhangs on the rest of the building. What these overhanging rakes do is provide cover from the weather, but also create shadow lines. It's a small detail, but it makes the roof pop.
Right now, can you grab the overhanging rake and support it? I got hands. Okay. No. Hang on, I can barely swing it up and down. Okay, up and down.
Do I enter?
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, just hold that, don't do anything. Okay. Yes, that leaves it swinging around. Dave, you got hands on? I got hands.
With the rakes properly set, we installed the ridge for the dormer roof, and then, you guessed it, installed the rafters. We then hopped up, sheathed the dormer, and Amy came and helped us frame the gable studs. With the back of the house, we took the exact same steps on the shed dormer.
Alright, we have essentially finished the framing of the house. We got the sheathing we need to put right here on the shed dormer, but the roof is sheathed and the exterior of the house is framed up.
The first step in waterproofing our roof is applying the ice and water shield. In most townships in the Northeast, it's code to have ice and water shield installed at least 4 feet into living space. That's because on low slopes and the portion of the roof not being conditioned, there is an increased risk of water pooling. Builders will often use ice and water shield around the edges of the roof to protect against ice damming and other fixtures prone to leakage. Also, with a peel and stick underlayment, the adhesive is designed to seal around nail punctures to keep water out as well. We used ice and water around the perimeter of our roof, as well as the low-pitched areas where the snow will accumulate. For the rest of the roof, we used a standard non-adhesive underlayment, which we call Raptor paper. We installed the Raptor paper where the roof had pitch to shed water and melting snow. Using Raptor paper instead of ice and water shield for the remaining portions of the roof will save us time and money without compromising our roof. Installing the Raptor paper was as easy as rolling out the paper, lapping it over the previous roll, and stapling it flush to our string line. Outside of not looking down, it was a pretty simple process. The reason we didn't finish papering the roof is because Smitty and I had to build a cricket. The design of our roof created a valley that would be a disaster with heavy rains, snow, and ice. We framed this cricket for 2 reasons. First, to channel the water away from the house, and 2, to give this portion of the roof more pitch so snow can melt and have somewhere to go. Once we're done framing this, we will continue with our underlayments and finish papering the roof. It's time to wrap this house. Dave's applying a product called Henry Blueskin. This is a peel and stick membrane that will work as a water-resistant barrier for the house. This stuff is basically a big sticker that you throw on the outside of your house to keep it dry. What's cool about Blueskin is it stays on the building. I'm sure you've seen unfinished houses with paper blowing around the exterior of the building. Although Blueskin stays on the building, its adhesiveness also creates a small learning curve. Once this stuff touches itself, it can go right in the trash can. So it requires a deliberate application. To apply the Blueskin, we struck a line 4 foot up the building. We cut off the length of piece we needed, stapled the top 2 corners of the piece we made, removed the top layer of the backing, applied that to the wall, then removed the lower backing and ensured there was no wrinkles or bubbles. Starting with the piece fully rolled out and tacked to the wall kept our mishaps down and was an efficient use of our time. After our first couple pieces, we got more and more comfortable. Now we just gotta wrap the rest of this thing. Well, we accomplished our goal. We waterproofed the house before the storm. During the bad weather, we decided it'd be a good time to frame the stairs in the house. Moving to inside work is like taking a break you didn't know you needed. It was a welcome break from the hot sun. Framing my first set of stairs with Smitty was pretty intimidating. Not intimidating like being high up on the roof, it was more of a mental intimidation. He was doing actual geometry, like math. Stairs can be a bit of a puzzle. There's a stair code ensuring your risers aren't more than 8 1/4 inches and headspace must be at least 6'8". To ensure the stairs are structurally sound, first we found the height and built the landings. We built the landings like any floor system. Joist, glue, plywood. With the landings in place, we found the length of the stairs, established the riser dimension, and Smitty did his math magic and laid out the 3 stringers. A stringer is the 2x10 vertical support board for the stairs. Next, Smitty cut the stringers, and we installed them to the landings. Lastly, I installed our temporary treads. These treads are temporary so we can get up and down them easily without fear of trashing our nice new treads. Then, we took the same steps, no pun intended, for the rest of the stairwells through the house.
Next time on Let's Build a House.